The Nile shimmers, its waters reflecting the golden rays of the sun. This river, the lifeblood of ancient Egypt, flows with a serene yet powerful grace, nourishing the land and its people. Sunlight bakes the desert sands, turning the landscape into a vast, shimmering expanse of gold. The heat is relentless, a constant reminder of the harsh environment that the Egyptians called home. In the distance, a pyramid pierces the sky, a testament to human ingenuity and the desire to reach the heavens. This is ancient Egypt, a civilization that thrived on the banks of the Nile, where the divine and the mortal intertwined. A land ruled by a king who claimed to be a god Pharaoh. The Pharaoh was not just a ruler, he was considered the living embodiment of the divine, a bridge between the gods and the people. He commanded the Nile's floods, believing that his divine will could control the river's ebb and flow. He controlled the harvest, ensuring that the fields were fertile and the granaries full, or so he believed. But even a god-king could not escape fate. The sands of time are indifferent to power and pride. The ruins of his once great empire stand as silent witnesses to the passage of time. Pharaoh's story is one of power, pride, and ultimately, divine retribution. His reign was marked by grand achievements and monumental constructions, but also by hubris and oppression. Pharaoh believed himself chosen by the gods, destined to rule with an iron fist and a divine mandate. His word was law, and his subjects were expected to obey without question. He saw himself as the embodiment of Horus, the falcon god. His power seemed absolute, his authority unquestioned. The people revered him and his enemies feared him. Monuments to his glory rose from the desert floor, each stone a testament to his greatness. The hieroglyphics etched into these structures told stories of his divine right to rule and his unparalleled achievements. But beneath the surface, a storm brewed. The people whispered of discontent, and the enslaved Israelites cried out for freedom. The marketplace, once bustling with activity, became a place of tension and unease. The enslaved Israelites cried out for freedom, their voices rising in a chorus of desperation and hope. They toiled under the harsh sun, their bodies weary, but their spirits unbroken. Their cries reached the heavens, and the true God heard. The divine response was swift and powerful, a reminder that no mortal, no matter how powerful, could stand against the will of the divine. The story of the Pharaoh is a timeless tale of power, pride, and the ultimate triumph of justice. Pharaoh wasn't just a king, he was considered a living god. He ruled over millions, his word was law, temples and monuments celebrated his reign, his wealth was unimaginable. Gold, jewels, precious artifacts, all flowed into his coffers. Pharaoh controlled vast armies, he commanded chariots of war, his reach extended far beyond the Nile Valley. Neighboring kingdoms trembled before him. He was the apex predator of his time, but even the mightiest can fall. Pharaoh's reign was a time of great building projects. The pyramids still stand as testament to his ambition. These massive tombs were feats of engineering. They required immense labor, and Pharaoh never hesitated to exploit his people. With each success, Pharaoh grew more arrogant. He built statues of himself towering over his subjects. He demanded to be worshipped. He forgot the true source of his power. He forgot the gods, and this would be his undoing. Into this world of power and pride stepped a prophet Moses. He carried a message from the one true God. Moses warned Pharaoh to free the Israelites. He spoke of plagues and divine wrath, but Pharaoh scoffed. Who was this God to challenge him? Pharaoh refused to listen. He dismissed Moses' warnings as the ramblings of a madman. He would not tolerate any challenge to his authority, not even from a god. His heart hardened, and Egypt would suffer. Section 5, the Wrath of God. The plagues began subtly. The Nile, Egypt's lifeblood, turned to blood. Then came the frogs, hordes of them, overrunning the palace, the temples, even Pharaoh's bedchamber. Still he remained defiant. He would not be swayed. Lice, flies, pestilence, each plague struck a blow against Egypt. The people suffered, the land withered, but Pharaoh's pride wouldn't break. He clung to his power, blind to the truth. God's wrath was building, and the worst was yet to come. Section 6, the final plague. The 10th and final plague was the most devastating. The angel of death passed over Egypt. Only the Israelites, marked by the blood of a lamb, were spared. In the homes of the Egyptians there was only wailing and sorrow. Even Pharaoh's own son perished. Finally, the God-King broke, his pride shattered. He begged Moses to lift the curse. He agreed to free the Israelites, but it was too late. The damage was done. Section 7. Chariot wheels in the surf. The Israelites fled Egypt. Pharaoh, in a final act of defiance, pursued them. He led his army, his chariots thundering across the desert. They trapped the Israelites at the edge of the Red Sea, but God had other plans. The sea parted. The Israelites walked to freedom on dry land. Pharaoh, blinded by rage, charged after them. The waters crashed down. The chariots were swallowed by the waves. Pharaoh's pursuit was over. Section 8. A Pharaoh found. For centuries, the fate of a pharaoh has remained one of history's most intriguing mysteries. The sands of time have kept their secrets well, leaving scholars and adventurers alike to ponder the whereabouts of this ancient ruler. Was he lost to the sea, swallowed by the unforgiving waves of the Nile Delta? The ancient texts speak of treacherous journeys in perilous waters. Did his body ever wash ashore only to be buried by the sands of time? The coastline of Egypt holds many secrets, each grain of sand a witness to history. Then, in 1977, a team of dedicated archaeologists made a discovery that would send shockwaves through the historical community. They unearthed a tomb hidden for millennia beneath the desert sands. As they carefully opened the ancient royal tomb, the air was thick with anticipation. What lay inside could change our understanding of history forever. Inside, they found a mummy encased in gold, a sight both awe-inspiring and mysterious. Could this be the long-lost pharaoh? The evidence, however, remains inconclusive. Scholars and experts have since examined the find, poring over ancient texts and artifacts. Some believe this mummy is indeed the pharaoh of the Exodus, a figure shrouded in both legend and history. Others, however, remain skeptical, pointing to inconsistencies and gaps in the evidence. The debate rages on, fueled by passion and the quest for truth. Yet, the possibility remains, a tantalizing clue to a story thousands of years old. Each artifact, each hieroglyph, brings us one step closer to unraveling the mystery. The search for the pharaoh continues, a journey through time that captivates the imagination and drives the pursuit of knowledge. Section 9. Lessons from the sands. The vast expanse of the Egyptian desert holds more than just sand and stone. It cradles the echoes of a civilization that once thrived, a civilization that has left behind monumental structures and timeless stories. Among these stories, the tale of the pharaoh stands out, etched in the annals of history. Pharaoh's story is a cautionary tale. It is a narrative that transcends time, warning us of the perils of hubris. The hieroglyphs, meticulously carved into stone, tell of a ruler who believed himself to be invincible, a god among men. But history has shown us that even the most powerful can fall. It warns us of the dangers of pride and the futility of defying the divine. The pharaoh's tale is not just about his reign, but about the lessons that come from his downfall. His story is a testament to the fact that no matter how high one rises, there is always a higher power that governs the universe. Pharaoh's arrogance led to his downfall. His belief in his own supremacy blinded him to the realities of the world around him. The broken statues and ruins that we see today are a stark reminder of the impermanence of power and the consequences of overreaching ambition. His pursuit of power ended in ruin. The temples that once stood as symbols of his might now lie in ruins, buried under the sands of time. These collapsed structures are not just remnants of a bygone era, but are also symbols of the inevitable decline that follows unchecked power. His story is a reminder that even the mightiest are not above consequence. The panoramic views of the pyramids against a dramatic sky serve as a backdrop to this lesson. They stand tall, yet they are silent witnesses to the rise and fall of a great civilization. Today, the pyramids stand as silent sentinels. They are guardians of history, watching over the desert and the stories it holds. Under the clear blue sky or silhouetted against the dusk, they remind us of the grandeur and the eventual decline of the pharaohs. They whisper tales of a forgotten time. The hieroglyphics, though silent, speak volumes. They tell of a time when gods walked among men, when the Nile was the lifeblood of a thriving civilization, and when the pharaohs ruled with an iron fist. A time of pharaohs and plagues, of faith and divine retribution. The depictions of ancient Egyptian life show a society that was deeply spiritual, one that believed in the power of the gods and the inevitability of divine justice. The statues of the pharaohs, set against the desert backdrop, are a testament to this belief. It's a story that continues to fascinate and inspire us. Tourists flock to the pyramids, drawn by the allure of ancient mysteries. Scholars study the artifacts, seeking to unravel the secrets of a civilization that has long since passed. The story of the Pharaoh is one that captivates the imagination and fuels the quest for knowledge, a reminder that the past is never truly gone. The artifacts displayed in museums and the sight of the pyramids juxtaposed with a modern cityscape remind us that history is always with us. It shapes our present and influences our future. It lives on in the stories we tell and the lessons we learn. The ancient scrolls with their hieroglyphs and the storytellers who bring these tales to life ensure that the legacy of the pharaohs endures. These stories are not just about the past, they are lessons for the present and the future, teaching us about the dangers of pride, the importance of humility, and the enduring power of history.